If you have a Chevy Colorado or a GMC Canyon like this one, keep watching. Now, like with most GM vehicles, these are going to be extremely reliable little trucks. However, like most GM vehicles, these are also going to have their little quirks. And this truck has had two little quirks. The number one quirk being for most of these, they'll start doing weird idle issues. You'll get some random check engine lights that you can't figure out. For a lot of times, that is simply going to be cleaning the throttle body. That's not what we're going to talk about today. I already cleaned the throttle body on this truck. It fixed the idle issue. So if you're having an idle issue or a check engine light that won't go away, that is referencing an idle issue, clean the throttle body, try that out. Super easy fix, takes 10 minutes. But today, for some of you, let's say around 100,000 miles, 200,000 miles, etc., we don't really know when these tend to start failing, but the oil pressure switches on these trucks will start failing. What happens is you'll be driving along, all of a sudden, normally it's when you come slow, you'll get a low oil pressure warning. Your bells and whistles and all that stuff will start going off on the dash. You'll get freaked out, you'll turn the truck off, you'll be scared to restart the truck because you don't want to starve the bottom end or the top end of oil, right? So that's what has been happening with this. My girlfriend calls me the other day, said, hey, I got this light. She's been coached to turn the truck immediately off as soon as she sees the low oil pressure red light come on. So that's what she did. I asked her to start the truck for me. Well, two things. I said, check the oil level. She checked it, it was fine. And I said, before or when rather this light came on, did the truck start making any noise? Did you hear noise from the engine? She said no. So I had her start it for me again. The light was off. I had her go out while we were on FaceTime under the hood. The engine sounded fine. So I assumed that it had good oil pressure. She said the light wasn't on anymore, and she continued to drive the truck for the rest of the day, drove it home, and it was fine. But here's what's happening. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go underneath the passenger side here, and I'm gonna show you where this switch is. Now, I do believe it is the same for most engines. This is the smaller of the two 4-cylinder engines, but let me try to find a good angle for you guys. So right here, you can see the oil filter's there. And right behind the oil filter, let me see if I can tap it. That thing right there, okay? That is the oil pressure switch, oil pressure sender, whatever you want to call it. If you look at it, so this truck does not have an oil leak, but if you look at it, see how the wiring harness is oily? So what'll happen a lot with these is the internals on this little switch will start breaking down and leaking oil into the harness. I've seen this happen quite a few times. And so we need to switch this out. So I got this one off of the Amazons, cross-referenced it with the AC Delco part number. This one had the best reviews. I'll put a link for that down in the description. And here's the thing though, you're going to have a socket. So it's 1 1/16 or 27 millimeter. This is an actual socket that is specifically for these switches. Again, I'll put that link in the description. It's super handy to have these on hand because they also take the oil pressure switches off of LS motors. Yeah, that's the S10 with the LS swap. So yeah, grab one of these. Like I said, link in the description. I'll show you how to swap this out. Super easy. It's a 5-minute job. We'll fix this low oil pressure issue in your Canyon or your Colorado for, let's hope, 100,000 miles. Obviously, the first thing we're going to need to do here is get that harness off. It looks like it's just, we're just gonna pull up on the back side of this little plug. Let me get my other hand in here and I'll bring you right back. So yeah, it's just put my finger on the front side of that if you can see, but remember I was talking about a minute ago, this truck does not have an oil leak, but look at the amount of oil on this plug right here. Now, I also don't know how much oil is gonna come out of here. So I went ahead and threw a pan down here, and now time to take this switch out. So as you can see, the switch on the left, all full of oil in there, no bueno. This little green rubber gasket was on this one, so I went ahead and put it in there. And because this one has been leaking oil onto the contacts, I am going to grab the harness in here. See the harness plug right there in the middle. I am going to grab that harness plug and spray it off with some brake clean, or if you have, something to clean that off so that it's not full of oil. And if you are that guy like me, torque spec on this is 15 pounds. So run it in, torque to 15 pounds. And you plug it back in and you're good to go. So this one only did leak a few drops of oil. I'm going to still check the oil level regardless. I think we probably checked it a week ago, but it's time to check it anyway. And that's it. This is super easy and super worth doing so that you can give yourself some peace of mind, whether it's you, your wife, your kids, your girlfriend, whoever is driving the truck, mom, dad, etc., that you can keep these little trucks around for 3, 4, 500,000 miles if you take care of them. This one's in amazing condition. Motor looks almost, you know, like you just look under here. Super, super clean. You know, this truck has 200,000 miles on it. So take care of your stuff and it'll take care of you. If you guys got any questions about this or any other tips when it comes to these canyons and Colorados, drop them in the comments. Love you. I hope this helps. Again, link to those tools that you need. Well, the tool that you need, the socket and the sensor itself, will be in the description.